Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. Please subscribe and keep watching more details. Chrisley attorney says prison has taken mental toll on Todd. The Chrisley attorney shares that prison has taken a mental toll on Todd Chrisley. He was sentenced to 12 years behind bars and reported back in January 2023. Yet he is away from his wife, Julie Chrisley, who is serving elsewhere, and his children. So what exactly is going on? Read on for more details. Chrisley attorney says prison has taken mental toll on Todd. Being behind bars is not easy for Todd Chrisley by any means. He and his wife, Julie, are both serving their time, but she is in Kentucky while he is in Florida. Additionally, Todd was sentenced to 12 years while Julie was sentenced to 7 years, so they are there for a long time. Despite this, they are appealing their sentences and have hopes that things will turn around. In the meantime, it has been a rough go for Todd. According to the Los Angeles Times, Todd's mental health is severely deteriorating under the circumstances he must live. His lawyer, Jay Sargent, had this to say: "He's still very energetic, but I think he's suffering from anxiety and not knowing what's happening on the outside with his case." He went on to note, "I think Todd is frustrated with the legal system in general, as far as how long it takes to get anything processed. From getting mail to being able to make phone calls to having his case processed on appeal. Everything is delay, and it's very frustrating to him." As for the mental strain, Todd Chrisley has had photos snapped of him while he is sleeping. Additionally, Todd Chrisley cannot leave the inside of the prison walls to work out. If he even dares to go outside, there are paparazzi waiting to get a photo of him. This makes sense because he obviously does not look like the same person who went in 8 months back. His life is all about eating, maybe TV viewing, and chatting with his fellow inmates. Even his children have vouched for the awful conditions he and his wife have been forced to live in. This isn't right. According to Julie and Todd Chrisley's daughter, Savannah Chrisley, things have been awful in their respective prisons. Along with her brother, Chase Chrisley, they revealed that their parents have no air conditioning. This was in the summer, in the South nonetheless, when the temperatures were beyond torturous. There have also been mail problems as well as privacy issues, though it has been hard all around. As for how or if Todd's anxiety is being treated, that has not been discussed. When Todd Chrisley first walked into the gates of federal prison camp Pensacola, he carried with him an air of bravado, a polished smile, and that familiar television charm that made millions tune into Chrisley Knows Best every week. But now, after more than a year behind bars, his attorney says that confidence has been replaced by something else entirely: exhaustion, anxiety, and a weight he can't seem to shake. Prison changes a person, Todd's attorney, James Reynolds, told reporters outside a Nashville courthouse this week. Todd's always been mentally strong. He's been the guy who could find humor in anything, even the most stressful situations. But this is different. This is breaking him down in ways people can't see on TV. Todd's legal team has been working tirelessly to appeal his sentence, but Reynolds admitted that the process has been painfully slow. And while they battle in court, Todd is battling in his own mind. He's isolated from the people who give him strength, Reynolds explained. His family, his friends, his audience. He's used to being surrounded by laughter and love. Now the laughter's gone, replaced with silence and concrete walls. Sources close to the Chrisley family say Todd tries to keep his spirits up for Julie, who is serving her own sentence at a separate facility, and for their children, who are navigating life in the spotlight without their parents. But when the phone calls end and the reality of his surroundings settles in, Todd's upbeat facade begins to crack. Savannah Chrisley, his oldest daughter, has spoken publicly about her father's struggles, describing moments when his voice sounded tired and not like Dad anymore. She's described her visits as bittersweet, joyful in the moment but gut-wrenching when it's time to leave. "It's like visiting someone who's slowly fading," Savannah told a podcast audience recently. "Not physically, but mentally. He's still Dad. But there's a heaviness in him now, and it scares me." Reynolds says Todd has been doing his best to maintain a routine in prison, filling his days with reading, exercise, and occasional group activities. But there are limits to what any routine can do when a man's spirit is being in control of his life, his home, his family, to having every moment dictated by someone else, Reynolds said. Every meal, every movement, every interaction, it's all controlled. That's not an easy adjustment for anyone, but especially for someone like Todd, who's built his whole life on making his own rules. Prison, Reynolds explained, is not just about physical confinement. It's about the erosion of identity. When you strip away a person's ability to choose, to decide what they eat, when they sleep, even when they can hug their loved ones, you strip away parts of their humanity, he said. Todd's feeling that erosion every day. One of the most difficult aspects, according to Reynolds, has been the uncertainty. Appeals can take months, even years, and while Todd waits, he's left wondering how much of himself will be left when, or if, he walks free. He's always been a man of faith, Reynolds said. That faith is what's keeping him afloat right now. But even the strongest faith can be tested in an environment like that. Family friends say Todd's sense of humor hasn't vanished entirely. In letters home, he sometimes includes jokes, playful nicknames, or sarcastic observations about prison life. But those same letters often reveal a more vulnerable side, a side that admits to sleepless nights, moments of hopelessness, and an aching longing for normalcy. Julie, meanwhile, has her own battles. According to Reynolds, the couple writes to each other regularly, but the separation has taken its toll on both of them. They've been each other's rock for decades, he said. Now they're forced to endure the hardest chapter of their lives apart. Supporters have rallied around the family, with fans sending letters, care packages, and words of encouragement. But Reynolds admits that no amount of outside support can fully reach someone on the inside. It's like trying to comfort someone through a pane of glass, he said. You can talk, you can see each other, but you can't bridge that gap completely. Todd's reality is so far removed from the world he once knew. There have been rumors about Todd struggling with prison politics and adjusting to communal living. Reynolds declined to go into detail, but acknowledged that prison is not an easy place to make friends. Still, the attorney remains hopeful that the legal process will eventually work in Todd's favor. We're fighting every day, he said. And Todd's fighting too. It's just that his fight right now is as much internal as it is legal. Savannah has vowed to keep her parents' names in the public eye until they're home. She's taken on the role of caregiver for her younger siblings and has become a vocal advocate for prison reform. But she admits there are days when her optimism wavers. I know my dad's strong, she said. But I also know everyone has a breaking point, and I don't want prison to push him past his. Reynolds says those concerns are exactly why he's speaking out now. The public needs to understand that incarceration doesn't just affect the body, it affects the mind. And Todd is living proof of that. He's doing his best, but the strain is real. For now, Todd's world remains a stark contrast to the lavish homes and lighthearted banter fans remember. Gone are the designer suits, the sprawling kitchens, and the playful family squabbles. In their place, a small cell, a rigid schedule, and long stretches of silence. And yet, even in that environment, Todd continues to search for slivers of light. Reynolds says his client still talks about the future, about the day he'll walk out, hug his family, and maybe even return to TV. He tells me, James, when I get out, I'm going to tell my story the way it really is. And I believe him, Reynolds said. Because if there's one thing prison hasn't taken from Todd, it's his voice. It might be quieter now, more reflective, but it's still there. Until that day comes, Todd's fight continues, both in the courts and within himself. And for those who know him best, that's the hardest part to watch. It's not just about getting him out, Reynolds said, his voice tight. It's about making sure there's enough of him left when he does get out.